Right. We should have sound. We should have vision. We're going to give it a couple of minutes just to check. Oh, I can hear it on here. How to turn this off? Right. Okay. All sorted. It's been very complicated. We've got a whole new setup. So we've now got a camera, a snazzy thing that puts stills up before we go live. We've now got an overhead as well, which is not very interesting, that one. So we should, fingers crossed. I keep looking over there because that's where all the technology is, and I'm just checking that nothing's going horribly wrong. But welcome to the sew along. We are going to take these and turn them into a quilt. So if you saw us on Create and Craft, not this weekend, the weekend before, you will have seen the various gradient rolls. If you've got yours and you want to sew along, fantastic. The only thing I've done ahead of time is thread my machine and fill a bobbin up. I haven't even actually threaded the bottom bit yet, so let me just do that. There we go, top and bottom all threaded. Happy days, little flap on, let's go. Right, so we're going to do a super simple one. This is great for beginners, great for if you've you think, oh, I need to do a quilt but I haven't got a lot of time to do a quilt. This is a really good one for it. So our gradient rolls are like this, so they kind of vary in color, and this one is Violet Vibes. It starts off in the purples, goes through into the greens. The one I'm going to use is Sky Blue Pink. I've got one of our seconds rolls because you can see it should be color all the way through. This one's cut just at the edge, so but it'll be fine for this. We'll have plenty. So let's get cracking. The first job when you're doing the rail fence quilt is to take those two rolls and sew the whole lot together. So that is exactly where we're going to start. Get rid of the stickers, and we are doing it real time, so hopefully you'll be able to see how quick this is. So if you've got a kitchen roll holder, that's perfect for this because you can pop them both on there and away you go. But you want to put them face to face and then just sew that whole 12 meters together. So let me get that lined up. We need a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You get these so they're not tangled. That one there. Oh, that one on the other side. Oh, you see, it's a bit high this, isn't it? I wonder if we can do some adjustments so you can see this a bit better. I might need to get an assist. Imogen, could you put the camera down for me, please? She might come through in a minute. There's like a 8 or 9 second delay on this. But the beginning of this quilt is super. Could you lower my camera, please, because I can't see what I'm doing. Thank you. Just undo the things, and then it. Whoop. That's it. Just actually, that's not too bad there. Stop, and then just tilt down a bit with the lever on the top. But I'll keep sewing while you're doing it. I just need to be able to see a bit more of what's going on here because I'm sewing sideways so you can see. But yeah, see, right up until like a second before we went live, that battery was on charge because I'd run it out testing things for the past 2 or 3 hours to make sure that we were going to be able to do this and do it without too much incident. Because it's all new. This is all new technology to us, so we're giving it a good go. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you ever so much. Splendid assist. Thank you. I have my phone, but I don't know where the messages come to. You're just gonna. She's gonna catch me up. It's fine. She's gonna catch me up. We're all good. Right. So it's this. It's literally this for the next kind of 10, well, probably 5 minutes. And you can go as fast as you want, but just try and keep that accurate 1/4 inch. Something is beeping, and I don't know why it's beeping. I'll assume it's fine. And we'll just keep going. So, oh, that's the metro. Got all the windows up today. It's roasting. So I went out today to go and pick up a new table, which is actually this table. And I also, on the way back, picked up a load of ice creams as well. So everybody was very, very happy when I came back because everybody had ice creams. All right, I'm going to take another bit more out of. This is why I was saying having the kitchen roll holder is brilliant because it just keeps spooling off. I mean, you can spool them all off and clip them together before you start, but they're so neat as they are. I don't think there's any need to do that. Just keep kind of spooling a little bit and running it through and spooling a little bit and running it through. And this is one of the easiest quilts that you can do. It doesn't necessarily need to be a quilt. It can be smaller projects. You can use exactly the same technique for cushions, for bags, for anything you wish. So eventually we're going to be sewing kind of 4 together before we start cutting them. So initially we're going to, whoops, get that untangled and line them up. And hopefully, I reckon this will take us roughly an hour and we should get the whole thing together. So we will see how we get on. Come on. I'm actually going to pop that needle so when it stops it stays down, because then it's a little bit more secure for when I readjust things. Running away with me a little bit. It's not very interesting, this first bit, but it is essential, and it will save you a lot of time in the long run because you're putting the long strips together rather than piecing lots of smaller pieces. And it's a really good kind of practice exercise as well for if you are a beginner, just getting that 1/4 inch right. Now, see, this is where it starts to drift off, so I need to make sure on this one. Yours won't be like that. Yours will be perfect. Although, I think we do have some seconds coming up. I don't think they're up yet, but I will let you guys know when they are. Let me just keep going. I'm sorry I'm not saying hello to anybody. I will kind of stop and do some messages in a second. I just want to get stage 1 done, and then we can do some messages. Keep going. Just making sure they're not getting tangled up as we go. And hopefully this should be going onto our YouTube channel as well. So it should be one that you can watch back if you haven't got your bits and pieces ready to go at the same time as me, and you want to come back and just watch it and then do it later on. So we're going to do the whole thing. I need one of them ones that Debbie Shaw's got that goes super duper fast. No, I don't. Do you know what? I consciously switched out my sewing machine to my older machine, which is the 100Q, because my other one, my Jade, it's got a big flap on the top, which is completely antisocial. It's a lovely machine, and it's great for sewing in the house. It's just not. It's not a telly machine. Well, not for me anyway. But we're going to keep going. Going to keep unraveling and keep sewing, and it is just one ginormous 12-meter straight line that you're going to do initially. And a bit more, and I'm just kind of pulling it, you know, probably about 45 centimeters ish out, pulling it straight, getting it lined up, and then just whizzing straight through it. Just give that a little tweak. Oh, is anybody off to the Festival of Quilts? That starts in a couple of days. I've seen John Morgan's videos. He's been posting from down there. Oh, Michelle, I have 4 rolls to make a bigger quilt. Would I sew all 4 together? Okay, in which case, thank you. Right. For those who weren't here in the beginning, we have new stuff. We have new technology, which allows me to do fancy things like switch the cameras. Actually, it's because it's gone to sleep. Oh, there's a phone. There you go. There you go. So we've got fancy new thing. Let me just get it to go flat again. Oh, you can see right down the top. Splendid. So we've got fancy new cameras, and it switches between all the things, and it's, you know, you can have kind of stills and things as well, and it's splendidly fancy and lots of fun. However, I'm concentrating on that, not concentrating on how to be able to do messages and things yet. So every now and again, Imogen just appears at the door with a a question for me. So in answer to Michelle's question, yes, what you would do is, if you're doing it with 4 sets, then each of your sets do this. So you'd have 4 lots of 12 meters. You wouldn't join them together because there's no point in that. We're going to cut them apart in a minute anyway. So just take your 4 sets of 2 rolls and join those sets together. So you'll have 4 separate sets of 2 rolls. Hang on. See, this is the longest bit because after this, it's much, much shorter pieces that you're doing. And keep going, straighten it out, and so. I mean, if you've got a 1/4 inch seam guide, that would make this super, super quick because you can just kind of butt it up against there. I should have done that. I should have put the 1/4 inch foot on. That would have made my life so much easier. It's fine. I'm lining it up and I'm sewing. We're stopping, get a bit more, we're lining it up, and it's just literally repeat, repeat, repeat until you, I mean, we're about halfway through these now, so it shouldn't be too long. And anyway, this is quite a nice first step because especially with a live, it gives people a chance to kind of, you know, find us and get involved and see what we're all about and what we're doing. So yeah, let's keep going, stop, roll some more out, line it up. But that's the beauty of this, I think, is it is quite a simple start. You can do way more complicated things with these rolls than this, but this is a really nice starting point. It's a really nice quick quilt as well. And it's, I think it's one of those ones that, if for beginners, is a massive confidence booster because you're going to get really pretty results. The variegated pattern on roll is going to do most of the work for you. And I think that's one of the other things that people struggle with when they start out. They're not sure about colours, about pattern matching, about all the rest of it. And you just initially you just want to have a goal, but you also want to come out with something that, you know, looks pretty at the end of it. And I think these tick all of the boxes for that. Still going. And all of the rolls that we do, we showed you a few last week, and we did them on Create and Craft as well. We do them in these plain ones, and we also, which are called Summer Over the Rainbow, and we also do them in Forever Blowing Bubbles, which have got little circles on, and the circles change colour in the opposite gradient to the colour that's in the background. So that one's quite a pretty one as well. We're going. This is much quicker if you don't have to keep stopping and nattering as well. But we're going to power through. See, if this was a video, we could do this bit and fast forward. But it's fine. It's good. I mean, I'm all for doing stuff real time, seeing warts and all, seeing the mistakes, seeing the bits that go right, seeing the bits that go wrong. And I think sometimes you often learn more from the bits that go wrong and how to fix them than you do from, you know, perfect demonstrations. Here's one I made earlier. Okay, line it up, go, line it up, and go. And it's just all the way, 12 full meters of this. We're not far off. I reckon we're about 2/3 of the way through these now. Once we get to the end, we are going to fold it in half and cut it in half, because let me actually just show you one of the blocks we're going to make. So I've got a couple here. Oh, here's some I sewed together earlier. So that's what we're going for. We're going for the 2 whites on the outside, the 2 coloured ones in the middle, and then that's the kind of thing There's 2 together, there's 4 together. So that's the kind of pattern that we're going for. And this is a really good one for beginners because all of your joins are in the white. So if you've got mistakes, you won't see them, which is a kind of perfect beginner's project. So we'll just let's get a wriggle on and get through these, because how long? Oh my gosh, we're 20 minutes in. I better get my skates on. Well, going for as long as it takes. Or if it times out after an hour, we're going and then we're going for part 2. We're just going for as long as it takes. But yes, I will try and get my skates on a little bit here and power through this, because once you've got the hang of the kind of lining up, then it is literally just bang all the way through. Ooh, I'm going off a little bit there. Let me just correct that. Perfect. And all of these strips that we do are pre-cut. So they come pre-cut as this 2.5 inch. You don't have to measure. You don't have to trim them to the right size. You can literally, as I did, open the packets and get sewing straight away, which I think is, again, one of the joys of this. Because when you've got a new project, you're excited to get going with it. And the fact that everything is pre-cut for you and it's ready to go means you can go straight from the packet straight to your machine and get sewing. And 2 rolls is an instant project. This will make a lap-sized quilt, so I would say about 1 meter by 120-ish is what we're looking at. Oh, do you know what? I think we need a 3rd camera. I think we need like a this way one as well. I think that would be good. I'll see what I can do. I've got 2 more buttons, so it could be a possibility. Oh, come on, there we go. Bit more, bit more. There's the metro coming. We seem to be at the crossover point, so there'll be one, and then in about 30 seconds time there'll be another one. That's okay. We've got to have all the windows open though. It's a bit hot today. Oh, there's the other one. All right then. Yeah, we're not far off now. It is a long, it's a long stretch this. It's 12 meters. And what I also would do is pop a new needle in before you start this, because, I mean, they say every project for swapping a needle makes absolutely no sense. I mean, how long is a piece of string? It could be your project is a double bed sized quilt. It could be your project is a small little kind of zippy pouch. Every project makes no sense. I would say if you've gone through a full bottom bobbin, or you've gone through maybe 1.5, then it's time to change your needle. Because obviously sometimes you swap bobbins between different colours for whatever you need. So be it. But yeah, just keep an eye on it, because it does make such a difference. You'd never believe that it made such a difference. But I've had people bring machines in to me, have a look at, and oh, I'm going to get a new one. It's dreadful. It doesn't stitch at all. You literally change the needle and away it goes. You wouldn't believe it makes such a difference, but it absolutely does. All right, come on, we're nearly there. We're nearly through the long bit. Then it starts to get better. And obviously, quicker when you're not stopping and starting and chatting. If you're not that confident and you want to, put a couple of pins in as you go with this, then absolutely you can, because mine is sliding off a little bit as I'm going. I'm not that bothered. As long as I keep my 1/4 inch overall, I'll be fine. Now, with this, you are going to need to press these open. I should have got the iron on ready. I got the ironing mat out, but I forgot to get the iron. So I'll get the iron in a second, because that will be the next step, is to press this out before we attach it to its other half. Oh, I'm going scooching right off here. There we go. We've got tiny little bits left on the end. Get those lined up and away. Get them lined up. And I mean, as I've been sewing this and unraveling it, you can see those colours just changing as it goes through the roll. And that's what does all the work for you in this. It is such a confidence booster. Or, I mean, sometimes, if you're a more experienced sewer, you've done something really, really complex and you just want something, you just want to sew. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to have to, you know, do the maths. You don't have to match up all the points. You don't want to do the complex stuff again. You just want a nice, quick, easy project that's going to give you a pretty result. And this is a great one for that. Right, come on, we're nearly there. So what's that take? That's not bad. It's taken me 27 minutes with chatting. So I reckon we'll get this done by about past, and then we can start on assembly. Yeah, yours won't have this white line on, remember. This is just a second one that we had that I'm just using up. Come on, there we go. It's just the end of a roll. Oh, cardboard tube! Well, nearly there. Woohoo! I've been so excited to see a cardboard tube. Oh, I can't get that tape off. I'll cut it off. It's fine. Not worry about that. Right. Ugh. Now the end is in sight. And if your sewing isn't that straight, don't worry about it. I mean, try and keep to your 1/4 inch as best you can, because if nothing else, it's really good practice. But if it comes off a little bit, it's pretty forgiving, this one, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. Oh, that one's gone as well. Right, so we are almost at the end, which means we are going to then take this and cut it in half. I do need to press it, but we'll see how we're going for time. Oh, this keeps scooching off a little bit there. Let's get the twists out of that. There we go. But if you have, the best thing for this is if you've got a kitchen roll holder. They work so well on them. And you can just slot them on and just sew, and it will pull it off for you. It's brilliant. Squidge it along. Oh, yeah, we're off the floor. We're off the floor. Ooh, come back across. There you go. Oh, nearly there, nearly there. Straighten that back out. Take that one off as well. And then the end is in sight. So that took me half an hour. Obviously, there was some stopping and starting. There was some chatting in between, but it's taken me, you know, roughly half an hour to do that first step. The second step, you're only going to be sewing half the distance. So that should take you, obviously, a little bit less. So I need some scissors. Imogen, can I have some scissors? I forgot to get scissors. I hope she's still there. She might be, she might not be. I might be going to get my own scissors. Yeah, the other thing is obviously because you're sewing such a great big length on this, do fill your bottom bobbin a full top and bottom for this, because there are some long straight strips. So I'm going to stop it there. Then I've kept hold of this end, so we're all right. And then we're going to go and get the other end, and we're going to do cutting the whole thing in half. Ugh. There we go. So both ends, line them up and kind of scooch it along a little bit at a time, making sure I'm keeping it straight, just to find the other end. There it is. And then we're going to cut this whole thing in half. Ooh, what am I caught on? We're all right. We're all right. Bit more. Bit more. Hey, there we go. So I'm just keeping it nice and flat as I go. Make sure that what I'm doing is actually half, not you know, random bits. There we go. Boom. Now I've got to go and get some scissors, because I don't think Imogen heard me. Very sorry. I'll be back in 1 second. I'll go and grab myself. I'll get the iron while I'm at it. Hang on. Ah! Oh, I'm attached. Bear with, caller. There you go. Stay there. Found the iron. Okay. Scissors. Oh, I've got to plug that in. It's not going to get very hot like that, is it? A bit of a rat's nest down here. Can I get that through the gap? Yeah. Right then, let's put this back on. Excuse me, just have to sneak it through my armhole. There you go. Oh, right. Okay, so cut in half. Little interlude there. There you go. And then we're going to press these seams open. So we'll do one at a time. Oh, hey, the iron's on. Even better. Oh, quite long, these. And if you like ironing, this is a good one. So I want to know then, because we have had a lot of people ordering these. So if you have ordered them, first of all, I'd like to know what colours you're going for. Obviously, we had a question from Michelle before saying, you know, she's got 4 because she wants to make a bigger quilt. What does she need to do with them? Let's just, oh, there we go. So I want to know what colours you've gone for. I want to know what you're planning on making with them. Is it just a quilt, or is it another project? You just like the pattern and maybe you're going to go for a slightly different project with it. I'd like to know loads of stuff. And also, don't forget, we do have a competition on at the same time. So the competition, oh, hang on. Oh, press, oh, it's on here, on the back of my camera. Can you press the button that looks like the thing on there? Have I hit something by accident? Hey, it must have just gone to sleep. I think I turned the sleepy thing off on it, but maybe not. Maybe it just thought, no, I've had enough of you. So yeah, we've got a competition as well. So obviously we've made quilts with these rolls, but we've not seen any of what you guys have done. We sold hundreds and hundreds, thousands of these things, but we never see any results. So even if it's one that you've done in the past, as long as it uses our rolls, then that is fine. Or if you want to do one based on what you've seen today, that is also fine. But what we're looking for is for you to send a picture in. You've got 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? She's not listening. I think it's about 2 weeks from today to get your entries in. Yes, it's 2 weeks. Thanks. 2 weeks to get your entries in, and we're just looking for a photo. We're not looking for actual quilts or anything like that. We're just looking for a photograph. Once we've got the photos, then we are going to narrow it down to a top 3, and we're going to put it up as a Facebook poll, so everybody gets to kind of vote on which one they think is the best, and the winner will get a £50 voucher for our website. Oh, see, I'm doing ironing here. I could have switched to my thing. A £50 voucher for our website, which you can spend on whatever you like. It doesn't have to be the rolls. It can be anything. Hey, look at that. Yeah, ironing from overhead now. It doesn't make it that much more exciting, but you've seen me for long enough, so we can switch. So when I'm ironing these, I am pressing the seam open. You can press it whichever way you like. It's quite a forgiving pattern, this one. You can press it open, you can press it to the dark side, you can press it to the light side. It is personal preference on this one because it is quite straightforward. If you were doing a pattern where you were going to end up with kind of big bulky seams, then sometimes one method or another is preferred depending on how it's constructed. This one, it really doesn't matter. It's whatever makes you happy with this one. So I would normally press this both sides. I'm going to not do it this time just because I do want to kind of get cracking and be able to show you as much as I possibly can. And we'll as I said, if it does go, but I think this times out after an hour. I think it's just one of the rules for one platform or another. And if it does, what I'll do is I'll restart it and we'll do it again, and we'll keep going. So let's keep going. So with this, I'm just kind of opening it up with my fingernail and then running the iron across it just to press that flat. So is anybody off to the Festival of Quilts? I'm going on Thursday, so if you are, let me know. I'll see you there. I'm not really. We've had a stand there the last couple of years, and it's just so much hard work. And we've still got so much to do here. Obviously, we've now got a little bit of a studio going on, but there's still an awful lot to do. So I had the opportunity of 2 helpers this weekend, so I forewent the Festival of Quilts on the basis of getting jobs done down here. Which needs must, I'm afraid, needs must. So we're hoping to get the shop finished. And I think we're looking to get that open probably around, I was hoping for August, but I think it's realistically it's going to be September. We've got so much on and we're just so busy that I think adding another whole heap of problems on the top is not what we all need right now. So yeah, I think we're looking for September for that. But if when we do get it open, everybody's welcome. Should we have an opening do? Shall we? I don't. Do I want to do? Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a little party. Like beginning of September when it's still warm enough so you can be outside. Well, we've got the landlord coming down tomorrow, so we're going to have a little chat with him because there's a couple of bits and pieces I need him to fix before I think we can have a little opening party. So I'll see how that goes tomorrow. Right, that's me nearly done on the first one. Repeat the same process for the second one. I mean, it's reasonably quick. It's not kind of too arduous. You're just pushing it open and following it up with the iron. And if you have got the time, absolutely do front and back. It does make a difference, and it does give you a little bit of a better overall result. I was a bit skinny with my 1/4 inch there. It's fine. It'll all come out in the wash. We'll be fine. There we go. Last little bit. Right, so that's my first one done. We're going to do exactly the same to the second one, and then we're going to sew these two together. So I'll pop that one up on the sewing machine. We'll go for round 2. Right, so is anybody actually sewing along with me? I mean, you might be, but you might be too busy to message. Oh, hang on. Karen, there's a whiteboard now. I wish you could see this. Karen bought 2 times chocolate balloons. 2. Oh, I remember that order. I think I packed that order. Make a quilt for a double bed. Will she need more? Possibly, because, as I said, the 2 rolls, a 2-roll quilt, which is the one I'm making, that one is going to be lap sized, so it's going to be about 1 meter by 1.2. If Karen, you're going for a double bed, then if you think about it, it's going to need to be at least 2 meters wide and at least 2 meters tall. So your kind of 1 meter by 1 meter quilt's going to be about 1/4 of that. So I'll probably say you're going to need 4 lots, so 8 planes and 8 patterns, because that's quite a big job. The pattern that we're doing today will absolutely work for it, because you can just keep extending this and extending it. It's not like a fixed block or anything, so you can just keep going and going with it. But yes, you will need more for that. You've got enough to do about a single bed quilt with what you've got, so you need to double up with the same again. But if she starts a quilt, I mean, that doesn't have to be a finished quilt. I think you could still submit a single bed quilt, and then if you win, you'll win the rest of the ones that you need for your double bed. Yes, so is anybody heading to the Festival of Quilts? I need to know if there's anybody going to be there. Oh, there will be loads of people there, but yes, I'm going to go and see all the usual suspects. And I'm heading down on the train tonight. Not tonight. I'm doing this tonight. I'm heading down on the train tomorrow, down to Peterborough, where my other half is, and then stealing his car and going across in his car, and then he's coming up. So I'm driving back up after that, so we can get all our jobs done. So we're hoping to get some walls. We're hoping to get some painting finished. Just, there's loads. And we need to get a sign. Oh, the sign. Well, when we moved in, it had the old business name up. So we thought, all right, well, we'll take that down. And that'll stop people coming in asking for wood. Hang on a second. Imogen's back. Oh, has it stopped? Oh, okay, hang on. It stopped. We'll go back to that. What was the other question? I only got the bottom bit. Setting up what? Oh. Oh, if you want to come paint, Sophie, I don't know who you are, but we're always up for some painters. Sorry, yeah, that's frozen. This we haven't quite worked out the niggles with this overhead camera yet, because that one seems to time out after a little while. But it's fine. You've seen a lot of ironing. You can watch me iron for a bit more. But it is an essential part of the process. It's something that I think when you start sewing, you're too excited, and especially with dressmaking, you just kind of want to get it sewn together. You want to start seeing it take shape. But one of the most important processes within sewing and dressmaking is the ironing, because it does make such a difference. And even something that is kind of sewn not as well as it could be, always fix it with a good press. So yeah, definitely the iron is your friend. Oh, we're nearly there. I'll keep saying that. Well, we're not. Right, so what have we had? We've had 30 minutes to sew it together, probably about 15 minutes on ironing it, and then we're going to need another probably about 15 minutes to sew the next bit together, and then we start cutting it into our blocks. So keep going. but we're doing it start to finish. We're doing it exactly in the same kind of time frame as you would at home. So hopefully you are kind of able to sew along with us and create a full quilt. So come on. Oh, I've just thought, if this is going on YouTube, then the Festival of Quilts will have gone. I need to think of some other questions that will always be relevant. And I need to remind you of the competition again. So if you are sewing along with us, or you have in the past made rolls with our, made quilts with our rolls, not made rolls with our quilts, then get some pictures, get them sent in. Ideally, we want 2 roll quilts, but I mean, if they're really good, we might bend the rules a bit. Because I know that obviously, you know, Karen's planning on doing a larger one, so that's fine too. So if you get them in to us, is it just put them in the messages on Facebook, or is there an email or something I need to know about? She'll pop back in a minute with her whiteboard. I'm going to take a picture of it. She just pops up with a whiteboard. Anyway, I think we've actually got either competition or competitions. Ask Catherine what's for tea. What's for tea, Catherine? I don't know. I'll await the answer. I'm starving, you know. I had a tiny little like pizza, which was disappointing because I had to microwave it. We have got a proper little oven here, but I was too hungry to wait that long. Oh, and I've had an ice cream. But yeah, I'm quite hungry. So what is for tea, Catherine? So I might be popping round because I've not had time. Oh, I know what's in the fridge, and I know what I need to use up before I head away. So it is all good, and quite handily. I live very close to a very good Indian restaurant, and a very good fish and chip shop, and very good Turkish restaurant. There's loads, and they're all really close by, so it's very tempting some days. Very tempting. Okay, we're there. There you go. Last bit. But it does make a difference. It is worth taking the time out and spending the time to do this, because it will help. Okay. Do you know what? For a completely new system, just to have one little bit of frozen, I don't think that's massive, gremlins. I think we can live with that. So now we're going to take these and we're going to put them pattern side to pattern side. So actually, don't this way. Yeah, this'll do. Right. Oh no, do I want the other end? I'm just having a look because what I do want is can Barbara watch again from the start? Yes, you can. It should, if all has gone well, be up on our YouTube channel. What was the other question? Sharon's rolls haven't arrived yet. Oh, what? Was it Create and Craft? It might be. I think we tried to get all ours out as quickly as we could, but if it's been Create and Craft, they use Every, and sometimes Every aren't the quickest. I mean, we love our Every driver. Well, we love 2 of them. We love 2 of them. I was keen on the other one. But it's fine. So, same principle again. I've just moved all of my fabric to the side, and I'm going to line them up face to face. Yours won't have that white line on. Yours will be full colour side to side, like these ones. I'm just using one of our seconds rolls just to use it up. So this one is Violet Vibes. I'm going to show you the colours quickly, actually. I mentioned the spotty ones as well. These are I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. So this one is Sky Blue Pink, same colour as I'm using, but just with the spots on there. And I've got to wrap these back up as I go, because otherwise I'll be in big trouble. Right, so there's that one. That one's Violet. Whoa! Nearly. That one's Violet Vibes. We've got Beside the Seaside, which is all of your blues into your soft pale yellows and greens. We've got, oh no, 2 stuck together. There we go. We've got Tropical Bloom. This is the one that Karen's got. So pretty, this one. It's kind of oranges, pinks, purples, really, really nice warm colours in that one. That's Violet Vibes again with the spots. Uh-oh. The battery on the camera is flashing. Oh no, what do we do, man? I've got a plan. Don't worry, I've got a plan. If that one goes down, we'll switch to this one. Because I charged them both, but that battery doesn't last very long, does it? Should we have a little tea break in the middle and then come back? All right, that sounds like a plan. Well, what I'll do is I'll start sewing these back together. It was so many updates. Oh, and there's a full rainbow one as well. That's the only other one we haven't done, which is this one. Whoop. This one's got all of the colours in. They repeat every 1.5 meters. So this is the thing that we're using, and we are doing a rail fence quilt. So a little kind of recap. What we've done so far is we've taken the 2 rolls, one patterned and one plain. We've sewn the whole 12 meters together. Then we've cut it in half and we've pressed out those seams. Now I'm going to start before my battery goes. If the battery does go, I will come back. I'll do a part 2. We'll do it tonight so you can get it all at the same time. I'm going to start sewing these 2 pieces together so we have one big 6 meter piece. So let me just line that up, put my needle down, and off we go again. And again, line up, probably about a 30-40 centimeter section, and then you can whiz straight through it. Line it up, and so, line it up and sew, and that's for the whole 6 meters. Then once we've done that, we will open up and press this seam. So I will go until my battery runs out, and then I will reset and come back to you so we can get this finished off. Oh, yeah, we're all right. And then sort it out. It's actually worked out quite well, this, because that line that's on here is just under 1/4 inch. So I'm quite happy with that. But what I will do is I will see if there's got to be a way that you can just plug this thing straight in and you don't have to use the battery. Because that would make life a lot easier. There's always a way, isn't there? Always a way. And it's the same principle as we had before, just this time because they're not on the rolls and they're slightly larger pieces of fabric, just maybe takes an extra second or 2 just to line them up before you get cracking with your sewing. Line it up, and away we go. And line it up. It's very repetitive, but it gets good after this. But this, I think, sometimes you want a project like this. Do you know what I mean? You want something that's not going to take any brain power. It's not going to have to do any maths for it. You can just sew. Just take your mind off things and sew. Oh, hello. All twisty up again. There we go. Boop. I mean, the same principle can work with jelly rolls. You just have to join your jelly rolls together first to make your big long strip. Yeah, they're just tending to fold a bit because I've got them on the floor there. But they're working, they're working. We'll get there. We'll get there. Right, well, what I will do is I will, because I've got a flashing battery light, I will stop that. I will finish off this section here, and then I'll come back in about 15 minutes and we'll start on the next section. So all I'm going to do is continue sewing my 2 6-meter strips together. I'll come back for part 2 in about 15 minutes. So let me, oh, now I need to know which buttons I need to press.